like everyone embraces you like this each year?
Oh, I don't know. That's such a funny way to put it. So much demand for me.
That was kind of cold. What I mean is obviously the people love you. What kind of feelings do you get each time you come?
It feels so wonderful to come to a place where people have followed and cared about the progression of your career. And so just to be here, it means a lot, not just because it's track and field or it's Iowa or whatever, but it's like, it feels like these people have been on a journey with me, and having multiple championships over and over and winning here, it's like I built a story here and all the fans are a big part of it.
What's it been to break that record tonight in front of the Drake fans?
I really hope that the Drake fans felt a ton of affection from me for them tonight, because the record was hard. It was really windy and I was out there all on my own, and I talked to my coach about how I was really putting myself in a vulnerable position, going out hard and being alone with all the wind. But I really wanted to do it for the fans. Even though the conditions weren't perfect, like I really wanted to put on a show for them.
Found that extra gear on that last lap. Did you know sort of timing-wise what you had to do?
Yeah, I'm really paying attention throughout the race. So there's definitely like this sense of getting into a zone and really kind of measuring out your pace as you go, but I'm definitely paying attention to the clock. So I knew with 400 meters to go, 200 meters to go, how much I had to give to make the record happen. But I got a little further under it than I thought I was going to. So it had to have been a good last lap.
How much do you think you can shave off now as the season progresses?
This is the first race of the season, and I've been working really hard. And again, like out there in the wind alone, I think I can keep getting better throughout the season. So everyone should come back in June to watch the U.S. Championships, because I think I'll be even better.
Have you hit that mark in training at all?
In this mark specifically, no, but we've been training to run well in the 3K earlier in the season than ever before, because I'm doing this race and then I'm leaving. In 7 days I'll be running the 3K in Doha. So this distance specifically is not one that I always train for, and this year we especially got ready for the American record attempt and hopefully a fast 3K in 7 days.
So this was your and coach's idea, that you've been in the mix and the plan to try to put on the resume, or?
Yeah, actually, the meet director called me and said, you know, we want to do something kind of different. What do you think of running a different distance? And I tossed out a couple ideas, and he comes back to me later and says, what do you think about going for the American record in the 2 mile? So I have to give Blake the credit and the blame for whether it went well or went poorly, because it was really his idea. But I so appreciate his effort to like give something fun for the fans to be invested in, and I could tell like as we were going that they were keeping track of whether I was on it or not, and when I came down that final stretch, it was just so sweet to hear everyone's enthusiasm knowing the record was in reach.
What was it like hitting that wind on that back stretch when you made that turn into it?
The wind was really hard, and with a lap to go I knew I was going to have to accelerate to get the record, but I had to be really careful because that back stretch is so windy. If I ran too hard into it, I could lose a lot of ground by just being toast for the last 200 meters. So I was really careful every time I headed into the backstretch.
Are you ever thinking about your undefeated record here at the Drake Relays?
I don't think about it. I just want to build on it. And the best way to build on it is to focus on each race individually and take it seriously, and come here ready to run. I've been so disciplined and training so hard, probably more disciplined than ever this early in the season, because I knew this record was going to be hard. And I'm so glad I was, because I never expected it to be such a windy day. So I needed all that discipline and training to be able to pull it off today.
But Jenny, the cool thing is it's not 11 races, just one distance. I mean, you tried so many different things here, going back to college and then obviously a professional. I mean, how sweet is it when there's so many different opportunities and so many different variables, and you can continue to rise to the occasion? Yeah,
it's fun for the fans to remind me of the great Drake relays I've had here. But I was here back in college, and I ran the NCAAs. I ran the steeplechase here and won, and was really close to the American record then. And so I've had so many really great runs on the Blue Oval. I've won a 5K U.S. championship here. So like I said, I just feel like I've built such a story here, and it's just been a fun place for me to return to because of all those good memories.
Can you kind of describe just that feeling, or did you have like a sense of relief as soon as you crossed the finish line and saw that time?
There's not an ounce of relief. It's all just joy. It's so much fun, because especially when you can see the clock and you know you're going to do it, and the fans are going crazy. you just feel like all that hard work is paying off, and that other people are getting to really enjoy all the hard work I put in. You know, there's so many jobs in life where you work really hard and one or two people ever get to see the fruit of that labor. And I just feel so lucky that I have a job where so many people get to see, you know, the best days I have at work. Today for 2018 will be one of my best days of work.
Jenny, I mean, obviously, you didn't need to run faster than the indoor PR, but the fact that you did, it just seems like that's like the whipped cream nuts and cherry on top, because it's like not only did you take down the American record, but your own PR. Exactly,
and that was like a huge thing. Like I knew my indoor record was a little bit faster than the outdoor record that I was gunning for, but I always want to be better than me, and so I definitely wanted to break that 9:18 mark.
What's the motivation of the year? There's no World, no Olympics. The USA Championship back here in 7 weeks. Not a whole lot on the line, but what's the motivation and what's the goal for the rest of the season?
So every year there's a World Championships or Olympics. You don't get to decide what's important. Like the schedule says World Championships, and everybody knows what's important. And so it feels really fun to have these off years where I get to decide what days are the most important days and what efforts I'm going to really go for. So it really kind of frees me up to do stuff like this, like be fitter and more ready earlier in the season to do something like an American record attempt. And I can put myself out there and be vulnerable and risk maybe getting gobbled up by other people and say, it doesn't matter, you know, I have other races and other things I'm going to do. I'm not building towards the confidence of facing a world championship. So there's all kinds of things about it being an off year that I think can make it a more aggressive year. So that's really what I'm gunning for.
So USA's, do you know yet? 5K, 1500?
I only have a mark for the 15.
Okay.
I haven't run a 5K in several years, so I don't have a mark for that. So I would have to go run a 5K to get a mark. And so most likely the 15.
And then lastly, we see with the success of fellow Iowa-born Krista Schweitzer, her the attention and love that she gets from young fans here. Tell me about your responsibility and you're the part of the job that to try to be an ambassador to the people in the sport and stop for selfies and autographs. Tell me what your thoughts on that part of the job is.
A big part of the reason why I'm here in Iowa racing is because I can run in front of so many high school and collegiate American athletes that want to do what I'm doing. And I think, especially as I get later in my career, that's become really important to me. We do so many big races in Europe and in Asia, and we get these really great experiences that you have to kind of write home about, or they watch on the internet. And so there's nothing like getting to see these experiences in front of you, and I had that pleasure when I was in high school and in college, and so I really want to be able to provide some of that to the up-and-comers. Somebody sitting in the stands today is going to be a Carissa or is going to be a Jenny, and it all starts at events like this, and for them, their parents to see it, and for their siblings to see it, and for the kids to see it. I just think it kind of keeps the momentum of our sport going.
And coach's cut of that 10 grand check, does that increase for that percentage increase with the American record? Is there a clause in that contract?
Man. I think we're all happy about the trajectory of the whole season. They'll be happy to take a slice of whatever I do this year.
Thanks.
Thank you.